Hello, my beautiful Badger Messi Coder, back again with another game dev interview. This time with industry legend Mark Ripley, who's worked on over 150 games in his 500 years experience. I've known Mark for many, many years, and this interview is filled with lots of fun stories, and we're just having a natter. Some embarrassing ones maybe about me. You don't know. You have to watch the video and find out. One of my favourite games that Mark's worked on and created was Death Trap Dungeon, that starred Eddie Marsan, yes, from Fast and the Furious and Deadpool 2. And guess what's just come out? Deadpool 3. And that's where we had the link with this one. So sit back, enjoy, and I'll see you all in a moment. Mark Ripley is an industry veteran with a portfolio of over 150 games and apps in health tech, edutech, AR, VR, and MR. I got no idea what all these R's are. You can tell us that in a second. Mark currently sits as tech project manager at We Are ANAGRAM. You have to explain to us what that is as well. CTO at Bladder Games, and is the co-founder of Branching Narrative, creators of one of my favorite games ever, Death Trap Dungeon, the interactive video adventure.
Yeah.
Welcome to the stream, buddy.
Thank you very much.
We've only just met as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've known each other for like 20 years, but today was the first time we actually met in person, not like text messaging each other. So yeah, so we met then, wasn't it? And
yeah,
then,
like 20 odd years ago. And then you moved out over to Greece, and then I moved over to the Greek islands, and then you made your billions in financial in Forex.
No, I didn't. No, I should have done. I should have done. So I got into Forex bots. I'd spent 6 months writing this fantastic Forex bot, which when you...
explain to people what Forex is first, because a lot of people probably don't know.
So Forex is, well, it's short for foreign exchange, isn't it? So it's pairs. It's the exchange rate between different currencies and stuff. And you can... in the same way as doing stocks and shares and things, you can essentially put bets on whether the price will go up or down, simply. But the great thing is you can automate it. So the interface that you use to place the bets, in effect, you can actually write little bots to do the bets and the cashing out and whatever for you. And I wrote one. It was a very simple one. And you can, you don't have to trade live, you can trade in a sort of demo environment. So I traded in the demo environment for about 6 months. And then
you became a demo billionaire.
I became a demo billionaire. And then me and my mate, who was also really into Forex, we pulled some cash together. I think, I don't know, maybe a couple of grand or something. And we went live. We went onto the live market, and the next day was the huge stock market 2008 crash. Everything so we basically just lost the lot.
Perfect time.
Because I didn't write a case for if if stock market crashed, then.
But it's a great experience, because then it helps you with your troubleshooting for these edge case scenarios.
Yeah, whilst losing all our money. But yeah, so so then I moved into real betting bots. So betting exchanges like Betfair and Smarkets, if you've ever heard of these obscure places, that you can actually write bots for those as well.
I didn't know that. So you're writing bots for those?
So I was writing bots for football games, and that did quite well. But I think the Forex system, somebody said, I won't say who, that it's all essentially sort of corrupt anyway, and that they watch the trades that you make and essentially sort of tweak things so you make less and less. And I think the similar sort of thing happens in the betting exchanges as well. they spot patterns of behaviour and then adjust the values that they give you to bet on, so that they make more and you make less. So it's all a scam.
Have you heard it here, folks? It's all a scam.
It's all a scam. It's all rigged. Forex is rigged by the big banks as well, isn't it? So
not as much fun as doing the game stuff, though.
No, it's not.
Was there anything transferable that you'd managed to get in from, like, game development that you felt like, this is quite transferable over to that market?
Well, all the Forex stuff was in C, so yeah, I've been doing C for years. The betting stuff was all in JavaScript, so it was all hitting web endpoints with JavaScript, so that was all quite useful. So handling the request not coming back and all that sort of stuff, all the delays. But I'd written multiplayer stuff before, so that sort of came into it as well. But yeah, so the talk thing, we were looking at 3D engines, weren't we? This was like early 2000s to about 2004, something like that.
Before Unity became the big thing that it is.
Oh yeah, so Unity was like 2007. So I jumped onto that pretty much straight away, and then you sort of Dave Helgeson and the other sort of management and stuff.
You had some fun Unity stuff. Are you allowed to talk about the fun Unity?
The death threat.
Yeah, are you allowed to talk about it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
we're not gonna get in any trouble.
I don't think so. Well, let's tell the story and see what happens. So the Unity forum was like 2007, 2008. It was all very new. And MMOs were a big thing then. Everybody wanted to write a new World of Warcraft. And there was a guy on the forums. He was trying to put a team together to make a new World of Warcraft, which, rings alarm bells from straight off. And one of the things that you need to do in the games industry, I think, is find out who your customer is and look into, their financial stability and all this sort of stuff. Because perhaps not so much now, but certainly in the 90s and the early noughties, there were a lot of dodgy geezers about. So I looked up this guy. He was trying to recruit, and he sent me a design for this thing, and he wanted me to come on board and lead the development and whatnot. So I looked him up, and it turned out he used to live in LA, and he used to be a film director, and he had a habit of getting actors in to play parts in his film and then not pay them.
That's not good, is it?
It's not good. So on the Unity forum, I decided to enlighten everybody about this, and he sort of took offence to me sort of exposing him to the world, and he started sending me sort of threats and things. But then it escalated because he newly converted to Islam. And at that time, I don't know if you remember, Unity was based out of Copenhagen.
Yeah.
And there was this famous incident around that time when a Copenhagen cartoonist...
Yes, I do.
He did the thing of Mohammed with a cherry bomb on his head. And so he sort of put two and two together, and he thought that everybody at Unity, including me, was persecuting him because he's just converted to Islam. And it got quite serious, so the police got involved, and because he was sending death threats to Dave Helgeson and all the other bots at Unity, and the police were called, and they visited him, and then the threats did not appear anymore. So it was a bit. There's another great thing about the games industry is all the weirdos. I think.
I was talking to Mark before, and I said, "Mate, whatever you do, try not to dox me." And I was like, "What does that mean?" Well, when you're accidentally release information about someone that can help get the ID and everything exposed and their address. Turns out, because we've had that. Like, and the bizarre thing is, I've had people mistake me for the asset publishers that that I review or that I talk about or make videos on. Yet those asset publishers, when I talk to them, they go, "So do you get like death threats and abusive emails?" And they go, "No, no." And I go, "Yeah, but I do, from people who think that I'm you." So all of the nutters who are sending the death threats send them to me, so I get it all. I'm like the death threat filter of Unity. So like I speak to like other like Code Monkey and other YouTubers, they're like, "No, we didn't get anything like that." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, look, I do."
Bizarre.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe I just attract. Maybe I just attract it. I don't know. 'Cause I'm so lovely.
Okay.
Could be.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe it's the afro.
It could be the afro. Now you've done a lot of stuff, but we talk about Death Trap Dungeon in a minute. One of the things that it sticks in my head is that you did was it an official trapdoor licensed game, or was it like a trapdoor homage like spoof? It was you did a project like with the blue bloke from the TV show Trapdoor ages ago, didn't you?
No, that was. Are you thinking of Blobbit?
Yeah, Blobbit.
Yes.
Because that was as close to Trapdoor as you can get, you know?
Yeah, well, you weren't supposed to make that leap.
It looked like it. Let me try and find a picture.
Now. But yeah, Blobbit was essentially based on Burke from Trapdoor, and then Stu Cambridge put some. So I'm going to get him into trouble now. They basically put some trainers on it and a Mohican and turned him green, and that's Blobbit. So yes, Blobbit may have finally. I think the last there's two Blobbit games. There's Blobbit Dash and Blobbit Push. Blobbit Push is essentially Soccerban with enemies, monsters, and stuff. And we released Blobbit Push in 2006 on PC. In 2006, there wasn't Steam. There was barely sort of online payment processing.
Yeah.
So we we missed another opportunity to buy Ferraris then, and so we've been thinking, oh, well, let's do a mobile version. The iPhone came out 2007. Let's do an iPhone version, and we sort of never got around to it. And then thought, oh, let's do an Android version, and we never got around to it. And then Facebook Instants came out in about 5-6 years ago. If you remember those, the games you can play in Facebook Messenger. And we knew a guy who had the in with Facebook. So if we could get the game out before the Christmas or whenever it was, we were guaranteed to make millions. Because this guy was running another company that had released games on there, and they were just making loads in ad revenue, stupid amounts, literally millions. So we've worked hard, but we just couldn't get it out in time. We just got day jobs and stuff, and then we missed the boat, and then the floodgates opened, and everybody got a game on there, and then it all turned to nothing. So, but now we're exploring Godot together, me and Stu, and I think we're going to release Blobbit Push sometime this year on PC, mobile, maybe Switch.
How is it to get into that? The whole because I think isn't it for Switch you've got to sell your soul to the Nintendo gods, or like give them a kidney? How do you get your stuff on consoles?
With Switch, I don't think it was that difficult, really. You just had to I think with all of them, you have to apply and demonstrate that you are you've been doing this sort of thing for a long time. You know what you're doing, and blah blah blah. I think Switch was quite easy, but it's the same with Xbox and PlayStation. It's I think it's a lot easier now than it used to be. If you can sort of demonstrate that you've got a good concept, they have to sign off on the concept first. So yeah, I mean, I've got the dev kits and stuff somewhere because we were going to put Death Trap Dungeon on it.
That leads us into Death Trap Dungeon, doesn't it? That's a nice segue.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, we wrote it in JavaScript because it came out of a project that happened before with Joey Essex, but we won't go into that.
Hang on a minute. You wrote Death Trap Dungeon in JavaScript?
Yes. Yeah, it's all JavaScript, and then there's various wrappers. So there's a PC wrapper, a Mac wrapper, Android, iOS. So I wrote all those in native code, but they're all wrapping the same JavaScript engine. And we thought we could get it onto Switch quite easily because the Switch has a browser embedded in it. But then we found out late on that the browser doesn't support WebGL. So none of the graphics worked. So yeah, and we've got 3D dice in there as well. So we're using
I shouldn't laugh.
3.js. So there is, can I say this? We are looking at maybe converting it to Unity or something, and then we can do.
I thought you made it in Unity.
No, I should have done.
You could if you're using old Unity, you could have done it in JavaScript in the old in Unity 4.
Oh right, yes. So Unity script, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
no, it wouldn't. Yeah, it would might as well have just done it C#. But yes, because we may be doing something this year. This year is the 50th anniversary of Death Trap Dungeon, or is it the 40th?
Is it? Well, you should know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not. I don't want to ask you about like how you got the license for it, but how did you get the licensing to do Death Trap Dungeon? Is it like,
we get the license? Well,
yeah.
Matt knows Ian Livingston really well.
No. Oh. So is it like what do I need to do to get invited to come around for tea with Ian Livingston and you? Do I have to be an investor in the next game? Is that how I get in?
Yeah, maybe that's what we should do. That's how we raise the money for it. So there's that. So we might. So there's talk about converting it so that we can release a new version of it or something this year, and then we might be doing another game, but I can't say anything about that. Another fighting fantasy game.
My cat wants to be let out. There you go, Natalie. I didn't even realise she was in the book. She's been sleeping in a bed in the corner, all well behaved. And I just turned over, and there she was, just looking at me and looking at the door, going, "Why is this door closed?" There you go, Nago. You're free to the world. I can't believe you did this, and well, you should be able to believe it. But
and then Stu did all the UI stuff in Dragon Bones. Do you know about that?
No, what's that?
So Dragon Bones is like Spine, the 2D animation thing. Yeah, so it's like it's a free sort of equivalent to Spine, written by a bunch of guys in China, and the website's all in Chinese and stuff, and it's been abandoned since. So yeah, he's done all that. So we had to convert the Dragon Bone stuff to run under Unity, but he's also done all the Blobbit push stuff in Dragon Bones, and I found a way to convert all that to Spine and then run it under Godot. So I might do that with this new version of Death Trap Dungeon and the other book. We don't know which one it is yet.
Oh, reminds you of Nightmare, does it, Dan? Oh yeah. See, I've wanted Like one of the things I've always wanted to do is do a nightmare game, okay, and get the license to do the nightmare game. And I'm like, I want to do it, and I want to do a VR nightmare game. But had to go about that because it's pretty much a dead thing. But so the production company owns the rights to it, I think, don't they?
I can put you in touch with the guy that did all the graphics.
Oh, no way! I love you, Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to ask the missus if I'm allowed to become an investor in the next Death Trap Dungeon. Okay, definitely.
Anyway, at the other end of the spectrum, there you go. There's my first console game.
Really? Oh
You
my
see that?
word! Yes.
So I resisted the urge to enter the games industry for about sort of 15 years. And I did, proper software, because the games industry was really dodgy then. And I ended up working for the. Huh?
Then, like it's much better now.
Well, you got to be optimistic, I mean. And then ended up working for one of the dodgiest studios in the country. So yeah. I was all sort of wide-eyed and bushy-tailed and stuff, and I wrote. So this is for TNN, which is a TV network in America, and basically they just show lots of programs of bass fishing. These sort of Americans bass fishing all day, and the idea was that we'd make the game, and then the champion bass fishers would actually play the game on the TV show.
Oh,
so
wow.
we had to make sure that we got a fishing consultant to come in and tell us all about fish. And from that, I wrote Fish AI and a lake simulator and a weather simulator. And I spent months making sure that the water in the lake, the heat dissipated as it goes down.
No way.
And if you've got like lilies and stuff on the top, then it would affect the temperature underneath. But then outside it would be and as it goes from dawn to dusk, how all that does, and then the fish go to certain places at certain times at certain temperatures, because it all had to be absolutely bang on, so that when these American fishers played the game, they wouldn't say, "Hang on, that's not right. The fish shouldn't be there."
But did any of it make any difference when they were playing it? Did they actually notice any of it?
Well, so I did all this. I wrote it all in C. We managed to get a C compiler for the Mega Drive that was being written by these guys in Leeds. So we managed to get a pre-production copy of that. And I wrote all this. And it was fantastic. It was really good. I was really proud of it. But then I had one day I had a realization that the amount of RAM that it took up was a couple of megabytes.
And back then on your Genesis.
And the Genesis has 64K for everything. So I had to simplify it quite a bit.
So it was beautiful, but you could never run.
No. No. So there you go. That was so definitely.
What's the lesson from that then?
Sorry?
What's the lesson for that then? We can tell people at home. What's the lesson?
The lesson for that is, know your hardware specs when you start out. And don't over-engineer.
Well, that's the thing. Like smoke and mirrors, fake the effect that you want to come out with smoke.
Yeah, so I had to rip it all out, and it was basically replaced with a random number generator.
Did they notice though? Did the players even notice that it wasn't?
No.
Does that break your heart a little bit?
Yeah. All that work. Yeah. We were on a crazy deadline as well, so I was like getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I brought my PC home from work, so I'd get up at 5 in the morning. I'd do some at home, and then take the PC to the office, and then could bring the PC back, and then do a bit more. So I was like doing crazy hours.
And that was back in the day when the PC you needed a forklift truck to to pick it up and move it. Oh, deploy early and often. Yes, deploy early and often.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
So there you go.
Oh, right. So tell us about, what's this? The I am anagram.
All right. So yeah, I've always been interested in doing games outside of games, or the games in using games for different things. So Anagram they're using VR and MR, mixed reality. So you get the pass through. So you can see your environment as well as what's happening in the game. So they're using those to explore different medical conditions. So the first one that they did was Goliath, which explored schizophrenia.
Wow.
And it's a really sort of powerful experience. It's all VR. And this is part of a suite of different experiences. So we're working on one now, which is for Quest 3, which uses MR, and that's all about ADHD. And then there's another 2 titles. So it's all been commissioned by Meta. And so there I'm sort of running the dev team, really. I'm doing bits and pieces myself when I can't help myself. So this week I've been looking at porting Goliath to Vision Pro and all that sort of stuff.
Are you getting told off by the team when you start coding and things? And
oh no, I'm allowed. Yeah, it's not. I'm not doing it on the quiet or detracting from my real responsibilities or anything. So yeah, so that's Anagram, and then then you mentioned Fish Bladder. So Fish Bladder is interesting in that they're using games to try and get school kids to exercise. I think somebody told me now that PE.
Yeah. Huh? No, go ahead.
So PE in schools these days is like watching a YouTube video in the classroom and sort of doing. Yeah, I don't know how true that is, but it's
my kids are running
with all the budget cutbacks and stuff. They can't do as much as they could like when we were kids. So what we've done is we've developed we've used the sort of pose recognition stuff that's embedded in iOS, and there's a Google version as well. To then use the camera, so in an iPad or something. So you basically put the iPad up against something in the room, and then you stand back, and then you basically play a game, but you are controlling it using your body. So it's so the first sort of prototype that we're doing is a endless runner game, and so you've got 3 lanes in the endless runner, and you have to physically jump to change lanes, and you can jump over things and you can duck under things. It's very simple, but it's really effective, and the kids really love it, to the point where we've trialed it in schools, mainly around Cornwall, strangely, and we've got schools competing against each other, tournaments and things.
Lovely.
But they're finding that kids that wouldn't normally participate in PE actually participate in the game, and so they're actually exercising and stuff, because they can do it there, sort of in the school, but they're focused on the things that people aren't like watching them do it, and then they can actually go and put it on their iPad at home and play it at home as well.
Nice.
And it's doing really, really well. So that's good. We're looking to do lots of other games and things. That was just like a proof of concept, just to show, just to see if the kids would go for it. And it's been huge. So we're trying to. If there's any investors out there, we're trying to raise some money so that we can do, a proper suite of games and stuff, and maybe some sort of hub and community and direct to consumer sort of tournaments and things, not just schools.
And it's feasible for the school to be able to use because it's just using standard iPads and tablets and things.
Yeah.
They don't need any fancy equipment,
No.
motion detector kits and stuff, VR headsets and all that shenanigans.
No, just lean an iPad up against the wall and then stand in front of it, and you're good to go.
We've got a question in chat. How do you think Vision Pro will be for games when it doesn't come with a controller?
Yeah, it's all hands. It's all hand controlling. Yeah, well, or the wider issue of how is Vision Pro actually going to do, being that it's only been launched in America, they're only shipping 80,000 units. Those will disappear on pre-order, and the price is too much. So I think this is just a taste of things to come. There are already other similar things coming out. They're a lot cheaper. So we'll just, I think the problem for VR for me was it excludes everybody. It excludes your environment.
Yeah, that's why I like Kinect. I thought Kinect was great. I love the Kinect. I'm so sad.
Yeah.
The Kinect apparently, and if any of my Microsoft bosses are watching, is still alive for non-gaming. So they're bringing Kinect back and they're focusing development, but outside of the gaming world, which means that, like you're describing about in schools and stuff, viable, these great ideas. And but I want to be making games that people be playing at home, and the Kinect was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, it had its issues though, didn't it? I think.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
there wasn't any sort of real sort of AI or anything behind it like it is now.
Now, imagine what you could do now with the Kinect, with the technology you got these days. The massive problem, like you're constantly outside of the zone, and like you've walked out, and then it can't see you anymore. All the technology we got these days could resolve all of those problems. But imagine, come on, Microsoft bosses, bring the Kinect back. You know what you're doing. You know you want to. But I want to know about this ADHD. Like, what does that involve? Like, what is that experience in the VR like, and what are the issues that you've got when developing for these scenarios?
They all follow a similar format in that. So Goliath follows essentially an interview with a guy, and it basically tells his story of having schizophrenia and going into hospital. And his story was that he was in hospital for years and years, and he found online gaming as the way to sort of reach out and basically come back to the real world, in effect. So to the point where he actually was released from hospital and is out.
Wow.
The ADHD one is a similar sort of thing, but we're following 4 different characters. There's 4 people, and it's all based on interviews with those people and the narrative that they give. And so it's not passive. There's gameplay in there as well. I mean, there's bits that you watch, and then there's bits that you play. So so in the ADHD one, for example, we were using MR, so you can see the room, and you can like hoover up parts of the room and fire them out at different objects. Don't know if this is going to make any sense.
Yeah, there's a bit on the video. There's a thing for it.
But there's a big explanation around that about how your brain processes information and how somebody with ADHD can't process that information the same. So it is, it's quite sort of scientific as well, but it's explained in a really visual and sort of entertaining way. So you come away with an appreciation for the condition, to the point where we're actually using Goliath now, the schizophrenia one. We're actually rolling that out in hospitals for nurses and medical professionals to get an idea for what schizophrenia is all about, so they can have empathy with the people that they're treating. So that's another sort of spin-off from the whole
that's amazing.
Experience sort of consumer side, is actually using it professionally in healthcare as well. So so that sort of stuff's really exciting, because it's not just a game, you're using the game to do something else.
And you're making a difference. Like it's
well, maybe, hopefully.
Well, even if it helps and makes a difference to a few people, it's made a difference. But it's far more rewarding than making betting bots and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Like, well, a lot of people sitting there in the bedrooms wanting to get into gaming, and there's so much you can do that just is your imagination that limits where you can take this stuff. I would never even have thought about like this, what you're describing here. Put a link into the chat for anyone who wants to read more and learn more about them. There we go. We are Anagram.
We are Anagram Co.uk, and then Fish Bladder is fishbladder.games, I think. But yeah, I mean, if you want to make a game these days, it's great. You've got all the tools. You've got excellent stores that you can release on. You've got payment mechanisms all built in. It's easy, right? Anyone can be a game millionaire.
Anyone can be a game millionaire. You said it, buddy.
There you go.
One before I let you go, because we're coming to the end of our time already. Can't believe it.
Yeah.
Playing the video from Goliath, and this is really moving, this stuff, buddy. Death Trap Dungeon.
Yes.
Okay. So have we got any keys that we could give away? Like, you don't have to generate them now. Are you able to generate stuff? Can we give away some copies of Death Trap Dungeon to anyone in chat? Are we allowed to do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, let's have a look to see if we had any donations since D-Night has come on. So got a notification earlier. Carmen, thank you so much. 20 quid. Such an important cause. Thank you so much. Exclamation mark charity in chat. Okay. Charity, because we need to hit our targets, right? We're currently at £401.05, which is crazy. I know. Target of 1,000, and we're only a few hours in. Charity.
Fantastic.
It is. So let's reset the competition, and we'll give away Death Trap Dungeon. So like, chat are wondering if they're recognizing the person in the videos.
Eddie Marson.
How did that come about?
Well, so my business partner Matt Spall,
People might recognise that surname.
His brother is Timothy Spall.
There you go.
And Tim and Eddie share the same agent. So we had a huge list of actors that we could have approached. We did consider Brian Blessed to do it.
Oh my
but
word.
We thought that well, A, he was too expensive, but B,
I can imagine. That's a big... Brian wants about £1 billion just to go.
Yeah, and we thought, if you're playing the game and he's booming away at you for hours on end, it might just get a bit much. But Eddie was a amazing. I mean, he's a brilliant bloke anyway, just generally. But he just, we only had, I think we did the entire filming over 2 days.
Really?
And and the first day we were all we pretended to be film directors and lining up shots and going action and all this sort, and we just burnt through the first day and ended up with bugger all. So the second day it was just crazy. You just we had an autocue that he worked from the passages in the book, and he just rattled through them. And the second day,
second day, he basically said, "Look, lads, I'll do it how it's supposed to be done. Don't try and direct me."
Yeah.
You've never directed a traffic, let alone trying to tell me what to do.
So he just rattled through it. It was amazing.
I haven't completed it. I got to say, I keep dying. So I haven't.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? This is the problem with all the sort of fighting fantasy things. Really, they are of their time, and so we want. Do we keep faithful to the book, or do we sort of steer it towards a modern audience? And we try to make a balance. So you've got the save games and stuff, so you can go back, but the books are brutal. So you can. Do you want to go east or west? I'll go west. Oh dear, you died.
Oh, everyone cheated. Come on, everyone cheated on the book.
Well, yeah, that's what the save system essentially did.
The save system emulates the cheating. Yeah, is you like sneaking a peek and flicking your finger back again to where you were. Yeah. Don't take your finger out of where you currently are when you're reading. You go, no, I didn't mean to choose that one, but it is like. Yeah. Like there's on the video where he goes, go left or right. Like, oh dear, you've come across a big goblin who's smacking your head open. And the fact that you've got, because the book was redone as well with different artwork, which is just disgusting. I don't. Yeah. No. But you've got the original artwork.
We've got all the original artwork.
How did you get that? Did they go and give you like the original sheets, like massive A3 drawings and stuff, or did you have to go find an old book? You literally had to go find an old book.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Yeah. So Matt put the all the script together, and he did all the art scans and stuff. And he's got a copy of Death Trap Dungeon that's just absolutely decimated, and it's just all loose paper. Because you have to take it all apart and scan it and scan the pictures in and everything. So it's a nice high res pictures. But yeah, we got the rights to do the artwork as well. I think that came from Ian too, but I'm not sure myself.
I mean you needed that without. Let me scroll through where like you need that stunning stuff.
Yeah, and we showed it off at EGX. We had a stand and people loved it. But it was expensive. We learnt a lot in doing that, in just like hiring lenses and cameras and how expensive, and hiring. It was filmed in somebody's living room.
I wanted to ask about that. Like, was that a set, or was that actually someone's house?
No, that is actually somebody's living room.
And that's their real chair. That's their home chair.
Yeah, some crazy art person in Shoreditch or wherever it was, in some warehouse apartment with all sorts of retro furniture and stuffed animals and things. So. We just filmed it in their living room, and we had to tear everything down and make sure everything was out of the way by sort of 6 o'clock or something, because they came home from work and they like to live there. So, and then we had to put it all back together again.
I want to go back to bed. A question in chat: did you do a Kickstarter? It was like,
no,
you never did would go retrospect now? Would you? The next one.
We did think about it. But I can't remember why we didn't do that.
It's good for marketing, let alone to raise money. A lot of people are doing it just to get the word out.
Maybe we could do one for this new one.
Yeah. See, that would be my investment. That covers my investment is the suggestion that you do it. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's announce the winner. How many copies we got to give away?
How many do you want?
5.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I should have asked for more. We got SS Night Shadow. You win a copy.
Yeah.
Jawa. You win a copy. Sunny. You win a copy. How many is that so far? It's 3.
3, I think.
Kamal. Welcome back, buddy. You win a copy. Radioactive Bullfrog. From Bullfrog Games fame. You win a copy. Mate, thank you so much for coming. Come to the end of our time.
Yeah. No, it's been great.
Thank you so much.
Been a laugh. And donate, everybody.
Exclamation mark charity.
Yeah, it's all for a good cause.
Charity. We're over 400 quid now. I know we want to be over 500 quid.
Yeah.
Over 400 is not enough. We need to break that 500. All right, mate. Yeah. I will catch you later when we're trying to organise how we're gonna handle the new game and my investment and where we're going to spend my millions that I'm going to be investing.
Right, cool. Yeah, no worries. All right. Good luck with it all.
Cheers, pal.
See you soon. Bye.
Oh, what a beautiful badger. If you want to see more of my crazy videos, click on the left side of your screen now. And down below, there's that big juicy subscribe button. And right next to it is the magic bell that if you click it, it will tell you if I've got a new video coming out. Till next time.